Kirk Cousins. Okay, Kirk Cousins says, in an extended statement, it ends with him basically saying, if I die, I die. And this is on Kyle Brandt's 10 Questions podcast that is doing very well, and a lot of headlines are coming out of it. And Kyle Brandt, friend of the show, host of Good Morning Football, he had an interview with Kirk Cousins, and basically he said with this COVID thing, hey, if it's supposed to happen, and fuck it. And he didn't say that. He said, in other words, here it is.
On that spectrum, if 1 is the person who says masks are stupid, you're all a bunch of lemmings, and 10 is I'm not leaving my master bathroom for the next 10 years, where do you land?
I'm not going to call anybody stupid for the trouble it could get me in, but I'm about a .000001. Yeah.
Really? How come?
Yeah, I
Still
just
a point,
I want to respect what other people's concerns are, but for me personally, if you're just talking, no one else can get the virus. What is your concern if you could get it? I would say I'm going to go about my daily life. If I get it, I'm going to ride it out. I'm going to let nature do its course. Survival of the fittest kind of an approach, and just say, if it knocks me out, it knocks me out. I'm going to be okay. Even if I die, I die. I kind of have peace about that. So that's what I'm talking about. So my opinion, wearing a mask and is really about being respectful to other people. It really has nothing to do with my own personal thoughts.
Well, your whole personal thoughts were the entire lead up to that thing, but I do appreciate the fact that he respects what other people are thinking, even though he's at a .00001%, which still is, by the way, in the back of his mind, there is still a tiny little, I'm thinking about it a little bit, but other than that, hey, if I die, I die. Kirk Cousins committed to one thing and one thing alone, and that's being a football player. Mm-hmm. Would you have ever thought that Kirk Cousins, the guy who everybody thought was a big old nerd, the guy who everybody thought couldn't play in big games, the guy who negotiated his own contract basically and got guaranteed money before everybody else, the guy that seems like he's a bit of an unrelatable person, the guy who became primetime Kirk last year, the guy who went into New Orleans and won a playoff game last year, who's now saying, if I die, I die. This is a whole new Kirk Cousins. And I'll tell you what, I bet you if I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If I die, I die. And I've kind of made peace with that, he said. By the way, if we want to dive into that conversation as well, we can talk about I've made peace with it. If you want to talk about that, Kyle, I don't know how many questions you got on here. It says 10. You've asked me 50. But if we go into that one, I can tell you, I kind of made peace with it, too. If I go, I go. Oh, big deal. Here we go.
And I don't understand the outrage towards Kirk Cousins because he didn't say that he didn't believe in the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. He didn't say that he was going to go out all willy-nilly and try to infect other people with the coronavirus. He said if it's just looking at himself, if he dies, he dies. I don't see what's wrong with him.
Well, I mean, if I'm a Minnesota Vikings teammate, maybe I think, hey, don't die.
I need you, Kirk.
Hey, pal, we just paid you a lot of money, and you just won your first playoff game, and now you're primetime Kirk for the first time in your entire career. Maybe don't die, Kirk. Maybe that's why people are upset, because they don't want him to die. But maybe it's passion as opposed to anger of not wanting Kirk Cousins to die.
But his confidence is in him being survival of the fittest. I think he thinks he's the fittest. That type of confidence going into a season. Shit.
That's primetime Kirk.
That's primetime Kirk.
That's primetime Kirk.
Yeah.
Bingo. That is primetime Kirk. Survival of the fittest. Hey, y'all motherfuckers ain't got an immune system. You got it. No big deal. That's Kirk Cousins who goes into New Orleans, wins a playoff game. That's Kirk Cousins who goes into Jerry World, wins a primetime game. This is new Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is confident going into the season, not only with his football, his immune system, his life, he's ready to die.
It has nothing to do with that.
He drinks emergency.
His confidence comes alone. I mean, he is another one. His confidence is coming from his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's reading that King James Bible more than he is his own playbook. I mean, he's just assuming
By the way,
Part 2.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Yeah, you bet. All that kind of stuff. But, I mean, let's pump the brakes. Maybe the guy wins the division before, we keep calling him primetime Kirk. He's coming back and all that kind of stuff.
So you're just a little bit upset that the Minnesota Vikings got a guy under center who's ready to fucking die if he has to. You're upset about that?
Aaron could have said it.
Aaron could have said it, but, they could have also beat the Packers on Monday Night Football last year, which is a primetime game to lock up the division. They got shut out. He played like shit.
Ooh.
So,
that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm just saying, though, let's temper expectations.
Kirk going down into New Orleans, okay, throwing that touchdown to win it to Kyle Rudolph or whatever it was, 2-point conversion, whatever the hell it was. Mm-hmm. You know that Kirk is just like, hey, this is the Kirk I always wanted to be. This is what I always wanted to be. Everybody saw me as this different. This is the Kirk I always wanted to be. I'm going into your house, beating you in a playoff game, throwing the dagger to win the whole thing. Some people say it might have been a push-off by Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph told us it wasn't a push-off. I think Saints fans would disagree. But, hey, neither here nor there. Couldn't review it because, I don't even want to get into that. Kirk Cousins is a new man.
Yeah. And the team supporting him. Use the first-round pick at a wide receiver. Give Kirk some weapons.
Oh, and the guy that you potentially didn't get along with last year, let's get him out of here.
Get him out of there, yeah. Make Thielen the definitive one.
Is Minnesota a problem for the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I think they might win the division this year, maybe. But guess what? You know what?
Yannick up there now, too.
What's that all about?
Well, that's really what
Unique. You sound like Mike Lombardi.
That's really what worries me.
On Dake.
What's that? Ngakwe?
Yeah, them getting him. Their defense is very, very
Well,
good.
and Aaron Rodgers, you see, is a guy who, if you can, kill him,
right?
That's the way to beat the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen what they're dealing with the backup, so let's just.
Oh my God, you are so incredibly rude. He did not.
Yeah, he kind of did.
I mean, to be honest, first round draft pick as a quarterback should be able to throw the ball into a net that's about 5 yards by 5.
Or hit the net. Or just hit it.
But also, he might have been tired. That might have been warm up before his arm got loose. We can't judge anybody by a clip that hits the internet because you have to judge their entire piece of work.
Right, he's just jagging around out there.
Yeah, he's just jagging around. Kirk Cousins, if I die, I die. Shirt is on the store right now, I do believe.
It's a good one.
Awesome. It is a good shirt. Diggs put it together, and Diggs is very, very excited about it.